missed. But would you call that fishing? Welcome to today's contribution, which is about the definition of fishing. As far as I'm aware, there is no systematic modern attempt to define fishing. Sure, there are traditional, conventional definitions of fishing, but they all fall short of satisfactory. And by that I mean that 8 billion people exert an unprecedented amount of pressure on water and on fish. Before I carry on, I like to point out that my take on all this is Eurocentric, mainly Eurocentric, because fish are the same the world over. Sure, there are 30,000 species of fish, but fish are basically fish. So let's turn briefly to fish and the question, do fish fish? The answer is here in this drawing by Pieter Bruegel, 1556. And the answer is, big fish eat small fish. They hunt each other and eat each other. Humans don't. As shown in this drawing, humans pursue fish with tools. Like up here, they seem to be fishing with a net, and here the angler trying his luck. Fishing is uniquely human. Cormorants, otters, herons, kingfishers, and all other animals hunt. They do not fish, they hunt. Only humans fish, and fishing is a uniquely human activity and experience. Traditional definitions of fishing, like this one here, all run along the same lines, like fishing is the activity or practice of catching fish. Now, that's all very well, but on closer inspection, it all boils down to saying fishing is catching. All of you who go out fishing know that such is not the case. It's called fishing for a reason. It's called fishing, not catching. And the reason for it is uncertainty. When you go out fishing, you try, on the basis of your experience, to limit the scope of that uncertainty. You make a plan, and sometimes that plan pans out, but sometimes it just doesn't. In any case, you never know what is actually going to happen. The default setting of all fishing is uncertainty. Only recently a trial balloon has been launched toying with the idea that gambling is like fishing, or fishing is like gambling. And the idea is that catch uncertainty and the associated gambling aspects of recreational fishing are key motivators for actually going fishing. I think that idea is a dud, but an excellent opportunity to sketch what fishing actually is. So let's have a look at gambling first. Gambling. Gambling is a cultural invention. You have to accept the rules of the game you play, and with the rules you have to accept the odds. And you have to rely on your luck to win or lose. And you're engaged in a passive, pessimistic activity. Pessimistic because there is no way you can get out of the straitjacket of the game you play. But most important, gambling is an irrational activity. It's based on irrational beliefs and superstitious behaviors. But there's one thing certain about gambling, and that is the bank always wins. All of that, the gambling, might lead to addiction, to gambling addiction, and that is a terrible thing. So, all in all, I think it's fair to summarize and to say that gambling is an irrational activity. Let's turn to fishing now. Fishing has naturally and culturally evolved, and fishing is a challenge, and the odds are natural. And there is no luck involved in fishing because you plan your fishing. Of course, there is luck involved when you're out there, but the basis of fishing is not luck. Most important perhaps, or very important, is in fishing you never win or lose. You never win or lose. In fishing you always achieve. And fishing is by definition an active, optimistic pursuit. And in our context, most important, fishing is a rational activity. Of course, there are fishing superstitions, but the activity itself is rational, a means-end rationality set against the background of uncertainty. And if you take all of fishing, it might lead to passion, but that is a benevolent passion, unlike the gambling addiction on the other side. So all in all, it's fair to say that fishing is a rational activity. And let's forget now about gambling and refocus on fishing. I almost, but only almost forgot John Dennys and The Secrets of Angling. The Secrets of Angling was the first English poem about angling, about fishing. It was published in 1613, and it contains an extensive section on angling and gambling. So there's nothing new under the sun, and I have added the link below. Check it out. We're still on about uncertainty. Uncertainty is not just catch uncertainty. There is literally millions and millions of imponderables out there that can go either right or wrong. Just a little puff of wind at the right moment or the wrong moment can make a world of difference. An alarm clock not going off because of a flat battery can make a huge difference to a fishing day. Imponderables are the salt and pepper of uncertainty. So far, so good. But what about the fish? After all, they're the principal actors in this piece. Fishing doesn't involve just any fish. Netting a fish in a fish farm is netting a fish in a fish farm. It's not fishing. In order there to be fishing, the fish fished for need to be wild fish or free living fish, and the definition of fishing has to take that into account as well. So what have we got so far in terms of a tentative definition of fishing? And I mean all fishing, recreational, subsistence and commercial fishing. We have seen that fishing is not catching. Fishing is trying to catch. And fishing is not gambling, and it is not football or tennis either. So what have we got on the positive side? Let's have a look at this. Fishing is a uniquely human activity and experience. Fishing is a rational activity. Fishing is a challenge. Fishing is an active and optimistic pursuit, and fishing is set on the background of uncertainty and imponderables. And all of that yields a bottom line like this. Fishing is the intention and attempt to locate, pursue, and catch wild or free living fish. In a narrow sense, this covers the ground fairly well. In my next contribution, I will explore the wider sense, and I hope you will join me then. But that's all for today. Thank you for bearing with me, and have a great day. Cheers! Fish.